Bine v-am regăsit la o nouă ediție de Eleven Podcast. Dacă vă place ceea ce facem, ajutați-ne cu un like, share, follow și subscribe. Pentru noi contează foarte mult. Vă mulțumim pentru susținere.
The
Yeah?
10
No way!
of
No way! No way!
that, throw it into yours.
No. No. No way!
Watch. You can actually throw it and it lands in... Oh, hang on. So sometimes I get the wrong hand.
No way!
You are now listening to the 11 Podcast.
Bună seara, dragilor! Astăzi avem o ediție de 11 Podcast, aș spune eu, cu totul deosebită, da? O să vedeți de ce. Astăzi avem un invitat special. Hi, Gary!
Hi.
Gary este magician. E bine de știut asta chiar de la început, însă un magician, din punctul meu de vedere, dintre cei de top, da? Mulțumim încă o dată 11 Podcast și 11 Restaurant că ne-a oferit posibilitatea să găzduim aici podcastul și că ne-a oferit și platou. Gary, this is all Romanian traditional, I would say.
Okay.
I will invite you to try at some point if you want after that or maybe during it. Feel free to serve it whenever you want, yeah? Și Gary, fără prea multe vorbe, astăzi va fi o ediție în engleză, da? Gary, bineînțeles că nu este român, dar o să ne arate ceva foarte, foarte interesant, așadar o să merite timpul petrecut pentru a urmări podcastul ăsta. Gary, first of all, hi.
Hi.
Thank you for coming tonight. I invited you. I will say a few things that we found online.
Okay.
Excuse my language if some of my words are wrong,
worries.
yeah? I have to say that I'm Romanian, but obviously we learned the English language, all of us being here for so many years. So Gary is an award-winning close-up magician and mind reader based in London with over 20 years of professional experience. Pentru cei, bineînțeles, care poate nu stăpânesc atât de bine limba engleză, este un magician și mind reader în același timp, bineînțeles, care locuiește în Londra și 20 de ani de experiență. He has performed for celebrities including Bruce Willis.
Yeah.
Bruce Willis, yeah?
That's probably the most.
Ryan Giggs and Gary Halliwell, as well as brands such as Porsche, Virgin Racing and British Petroleum. Is this
BP.
petrol? Oh, BP.
BP.
Okay, BP, yeah. Deci el a performat în fața, bineînțeles, a multor... O să traduc doar partea asta de început, da? După care o să vorbim liber în limba engleză. Cu siguranță mulți înțeleg limba engleză. A performat, bineînțeles, pentru celebrități cum ar fi Bruce Willis, Ryan Giggs sau Gary Halliwell și, bineînțeles, pentru diverse firme cum ar fi Porsche, Virgin Racing sau BP, cum știm noi. In 2016, you received 4 yeses at Britain Got Talent, and you are a member of the Magic Circle, yes?
Magic Circle, yeah.
Magic Circle, yeah. As well, you are a resident magician for Watford FC, for the football team, yeah?
Yep, I've been there.
Right, that's an interesting thing. Deci, 4 de yes la Britain Got Talent și, bineînțeles, membru a Magic Circle, o să ne spună, you're gonna tell us what is Magic Circle, yeah?
Yeah, we can talk about
Și, bineînțeles, rezident pentru echipa de fotbal Watford FC. Was it Magic Circle?
So the Magic Circle, it's like a club for magicians, basically. It's one of the most
In
famous
London?
ones. It's in London, yeah.
Okay.
So it's a club where all magicians go, you meet other magicians.
Everyone can be there in that club, or
No,
you are selected?
you have to pass an audition. The King's a member.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the King's a member, and he had to have an audition as well.
The King is a member of the Magic Club.
Circle, yeah.
Is he
the King's a
any
big fan
connection?
of magic.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and he joined the Magic Circle many years ago. I don't know when.
Did you have the chance to see him there?
I've never seen him there, no. But
you know that he's in.
Yeah,
probably he has. That he maybe has a magician, or he's attending to many magic show, isn't he?
I know he's a big fan of magic. He did his audition. He did what's called the Cups and Balls, a very classic magic
So how
trick.
is it this? He's a member, maybe obviously as a king, as his personality, or
He's been a member for years before he was the king.
oh,
back
okay.
when he was
So
the prince.
you reckon that he was selected at some point to be there, or he was chosen?
I'm not actually sure. He must have applied.
He must have applied, I suppose, but not selected, I suppose.
Yeah.
He was not selected for that. But anyways, this is the Magic, obviously, corporation institution, which certifies you as a magician as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it gives you some kind of accreditation.
Some
because
accreditation that you are a
you have to
magician,
be
yeah?
at a certain level to be a member.
When did you start this?
Magic,
Yeah.
since tiny.
Since you remember,
since a little kid, as long as I can remember.
What images you have from the start of your career?
To be honest, like I grew up in the late 80s, early 90s. You know, when there was Saturday night TV, everyone as a family sat down and watched Saturday night TV. Paul Daniels was the big star then. He was I don't know if you heard of him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a big famous magician in the UK.
Yeah.
So he was on Saturday night TV. Everyone had a Paul Daniels magic set when I was younger. Most people kind of just looked at it, put it in the cupboard. I sat there, just learned every trick in it. And then
Are you talking about the old style tricks? 'Cause
Old
they
stuff,
changed.
yeah.
They changed. Before it was like the one with
back then it was very glitz and glamour. David Copperfield,
David Copperfield, is probably one of the most popular in Romania, I would say. Maybe
he was one of my heroes.
Maybe over the world, I suppose, right?
Yeah, he's biggest magician ever. Yeah.
What do you think about changing from that style? Because actually, you said that obviously David Copperfield. If I remember well, he had those kind of tricks that you put people inside and then make.
Yeah,
them
he was a big
disappear.
illusionist.
Illusionist, yeah.
His famous one was flying. He was the first magician, I believe, to do the flying.
All right, and
Like the big soaring in half. And
he done that one, the flying one.
he done the flying one. He was the one who
Okay.
made that famous. Yeah.
All right, what do you think about magic these days? I suppose changed. The magic changed, right?
Yeah, I mean, Blaine came along. Blaine, back then, magic, people watch magic.
I've seen this guy. Blaine is probably the one that walked on water.
No,
is that
that's
the one?
Dynamo.
That's Dynamo, right?
Yes.
Okay, I wanted to ask you about that one. But Blaine,
So David
was
Blaine.
his- David Blaine.
Yeah.
What's his most impressive trick? What do you think?
He made magic popular.
The modern magic, yeah?
The modern magic. So he went onto the streets, went away from all the glamour and the glitz and the big illusions, and just done simple stuff out in the streets, and he focused on the reactions, and
On the
that's
people.
what made magic popular. And then you got Dynamo, he made magic cool, I'd say. David Blaine. Dynamo
Okay.
made magic popular.
All right,
because
Dynamo
he-
magic popular.
Yeah,
Many people were talking that, I've seen that video that he walked on water,
Yeah.
and many people were saying, oh, he has something underneath. He has to have something underneath. Otherwise, how can he walk,
magic.
So is this possible, even possible to think of that someone can walk on water without having anything underneath?
Dynamo did it.
My God, that's the. So you're telling me that is actually magic? It was not something directed in advance, and maybe something put it there, like we all was thinking.
Even I don't know how he did it.
Even you don't know how, but it's definitely magic, yeah.
I think it's magic.
You
yeah.
think it's magic, yeah? All right, that was an interesting one. Tell me about when you started. When you started, what you started in clubs or pubs or what? How you started?
Started professionally.
Professionally, yeah.
So, I mean, I always did it as a kid. I used to do it to family and friends and stuff. I used to do it at school. And then when I went to college, I got a job at the toy store Hamleys. Have you heard of Hamleys?
Yeah.
Biggest toy store in London. And they had a magic place, a magic section, Marvin's Magic. So I was actually working in the basement, which was the computer games and gadgets and stuff.
At this store, yeah?
Yeah, at this store.
Okay.
And I used to have friends with the magic people, and eventually I managed to move over from there to the magic stand. And I suppose that's probably my first magic job. So I was there performing magic and selling magic tricks, and that's where I met Bruce Willis.
Oh, in the store?
At Hamleys, yeah.
Oh, really? What was he doing there? He's buying something?
Yeah, this was must be early 2000s when I was at college. I was at the magic stand selling these magic deck of cards. And I was talking to a friend, and he's like, apparently Bruce Willis is in the store. And this is early 2000s. He was he's mega then. He's A-list celebrity. So, yeah, Bruce Willis is in the store. Didn't think nothing of it. I went down to get something, look up, and there's this tall, bald guy just standing in front of me. And I thought to myself, this looks a bit like Bruce Willis. So I was like, hi guys, can I show you some magic? And then out this American accent came. Yeah, sure. I can't do an American accent, but American accent.
Yeah.
And then I realized it was Bruce Willis. And I don't usually get starstruck, but Die Hard is one of my favorite films. I've got Bruce Willis standing in front of me. All of a sudden, my hands were shaking.
Many of us, we like that.
This is like the most terrified I've ever been doing magic. You know, I've got Bruce Willis there.
In front of you, yeah.
So I did my trick. He was impressed. He goes to me, so how's it done? And I was so nervous, like Bruce Willis has asked me how it's done, what do I do? So I was like, and I just showed him. And then he was like, okay. And he walked off. And I thought, he didn't even buy the trick. And then 2 days later, I was at the same stand, turned around, Bruce Willis is back.
Over there?
2 days later, yeah. And I thought to myself,
doing what?
Yeah, there's no way he's going to remember me.
Yeah, of course.
He goes to me, what was that trick you showed me the other day?
After 2 days.
I was like, oh God, Bruce Willis remembers me. So I get the nerves again, shaking. So I do another trick. And again, he goes to me, so how's it done? And I thought, this time, you know what? I'm not going to lose this opportunity. It's Bruce Willis. I want to get his autograph. So I'll tell you what, if you sign something for me, I'll show you how it's done.
You blackmail me.
So he goes, okay. So I gave him, all I had was a playing card and a biro pen. So I gave him the pen. He goes to sign it and the pen don't work. And I just kind of looked at him and I must have been like 16 at the time. So like that. And he just goes to me, I'll wait here, go get a pen. So I run off, I grab a pen, come back, he signs it for me. I show him how the trick's done. And then he buys it, puts it in his basket, goes, thank you. And he walks off. And I've still got that card to this day. It's one of the best,
still have
one
that
of the best
card,
moments, yeah.
Really
Whether you learned the tricks, I don't know, but...
we need to say that obviously you met other celebrities as well, because you've been to Britain Got Talent, yeah?
I did, yeah.
It's a shame that you didn't manage to go on live shows. So
I was in front of the judges.
Okay.
So I got to meet the judges. I did magic to Simon, to David, Alicia and Amanda, but it was never aired.
We have people here saying obviously something of being contestants kind of shows like this, you know. Do you have anything imposed to you or what to do or what not to do into the show? Or?
So, I mean, they kind of point you in the way they want you to go, or they want you to say, they'll give you some pointers. Like when they're doing interviews, they might say, I was with my wife and they'll say to her, ask Gary what he, what he's nervous about, which judge he wants to see and stuff. But ultimately, when you walk out on that stage, it's down to you.
Have you met a lot of celebrities there? Obviously, you met Ant and Dec.
Obviously, Ant and Dec. Well, Britain's Got Talent.
Yeah.
So Ant and Dec and the judges, basically.
And the judges.
Yeah.
You had a picture with them. You had a chance to have a picture.
I didn't get a picture with them. No,
they don't do a picture with everyone there.
You're literally, the first time you meet them is when you go out there. So I'm kind of waiting backstage. I thought maybe Ant and Dec are going to come over and say, hi, we're Ant and Dec. No, you're standing backstage. Next thing you know, there's a camera. Ant and Dec are there, and off you go.
Is that, obviously you are experienced. I know that. Is that, I've never been there, so I'm just trying to understand if it's an emotion when you got there, even if you are experienced and you know your job. Yeah,
I mean, that's one of the most nervous things I've ever done.
Really? That one?
I mean,
and you played, obviously, in a few places. You've done your tricks.
I do close up. If I'm going around a table or doing magic in a small group, I can fool that small group, no problem.
Yeah.
But when you walk out on stage, you've got 2,000 people there. I've got 15 cameras watching me. I can't fool all those cameras, so I'm trusting they're going to edit it good. If I mess up, millions of people are going to see me mess up.
With that one, yeah?
And I'm going to be online and everything. So, there's a lot at stake.
Gary, I'm telling you, the most important thing for us today is for us to actually show something of your tricks. Because obviously, I'm telling you, I told them to my team, this is my team that you see here, I told them all day, you're not going to believe what this guy can do. So, honestly, I can't wait for you to show me. Let's start with one trick. Show me one trick. Let's do one trick for the start. And obviously, we're going to do then other tricks.
So let's do a little bit of basic mind reading, okay?
Yeah. It's good to say you are a mind reader as well, yeah?
I do a bit of mind reading, close-up magic, a mixture of stuff. Okay, right. So playing cards, yeah?
Yeah.
Just name a playing card for me.
Do I need to play as a king or what the number? 10,
anything
11?
You want, yeah. The suit and the value. So king, 10, hearts, diamonds, whatever you want.
10 of heart.
10 of hearts.
Yeah.
You sure? Because I kind of said that one. I don't think I've made you pick that one.
No, I choose that one.
You're happy with 10 hearts?
Yeah, I'm happy with that. Yeah.
Okay, now most people when I do this go for the ace, right? So I always have the aces face up. You've got the ace of hearts, you've got the ace of clubs, diamonds.
Yeah.
and spades. But you didn't. You went for the 10 of hearts, and that was a free choice. I haven't set this up with you.
No, no.
Which is weird because before we started, I took some red aces out of another deck, and I wrote on the back of them the 10
No way.
of.
No way. No way. No way. It is. So you didn't know that I will choose 10 of hearts.
That was a bit of prediction. I thought maybe he'll go for the 10 of hearts, so I took a punt.
No way. I need to tell to the people that are watching, obviously I know your tricks, some of them I've seen it, but obviously I don't know them very closely, but I'm still surprised because I'm not expecting into this situation for you to actually show me. I never told you about that, about the 10 of hearts. But how is it possible?
Yeah.
Guys, please, every time applause for this guy. I'm telling you, this is amazing. Tell me one thing. Obviously, you've done a lot of events in your life, yeah?
Yep.
You are an artist now. Obviously, this is your main job, or you do other things as well?
Yeah, this is my kind of main day job.
Your main day job, yeah? Since you do this one and you've done it in so many pubs, would you prefer the cards one, or do you have any favorite one that's coming up to you that you know that it can surprise every single person in that? Because maybe some people, they are used to cards, let's say. Many magicians, they go into pubs, isn't it?
Yeah.
I suppose that many of them use cards because it's something
Lots
common.
of people do cards, yeah.
So I suppose that people being in a bar, seeing one magician doing card trick, maybe some of them are used with this. Maybe some of them seen magician, but not all the tricks. Which one do you think that still surprise everyone in every place you go?
There's lots of different stuff. But like you said, yeah, I'm a magician. I know how to handle a deck of cards. So we can try something without some cards if you want.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to need my phone for this one. Let me grab my phone.
All right.
Okay, this is also mind reading. Obviously, we've done the deck of cards. There's a 1 in 52 chance, of me getting that. So let's try this. I want you to think of a number between, let's go for 1 and 100. Okay, don't
one
say
number.
it. Just keep it in your head.
Just keep it in my head, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, I chose one.
You've got one, yeah?
Yeah.
Right, let's try this. Piece of
Oh
paper.
my God, if you find this one.
Right, when I start cutting this paper, you cannot change your mind, okay? So I'm trusting you not to change it. Do you want to change it now?
No, it's already there, yeah.
So I'm going to make a little bit of a mess on your floor here, sorry.
No problem.
I'm going to go with this.
Yeah.
It takes a little second. Bear with me.
Yeah.
You haven't changed it, have you?
No.
No, just
No,
checking.
it's the same one.
Can't style this one out. A little bit more. Perfect. Okay, right. No one knows the number in the room except for you, okay?
No.
Can you just hold on to that for a second, just while I put the scissors away?
Yeah.
Right, for the first time... Actually, did you watch the World Cup? We just finished the World Cup,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, of course,
Okay?
yeah.
You watched the World Cup.
Yeah.
Give me your number. What was your number?
Should I tell you another number?
Yeah.
59.
59, okay. If we go into my phone here, I've got a list of some of the most... I'm going to stand up just for a second. Sorry.
Yeah.
Of some of the most famous World Cup players up here. Okay, so number 1 would have been Harry Kane. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Could have got number 2, which would have been Messi.
Yeah.
Mbappe.
Yeah,
You went for what number?
59.
59. If we just scroll down to 59. Can you see who 59 is?
Yeah, Declan Rice.
And they are genuinely different, yeah?
Yeah.
A different number would have been a different player. You've gone for Declan Rice.
Yeah.
One of my favourites, being a gooner.
Yeah.
And a Watford fan. Right, let's grab that. I give you something that looks a little bit like England and Arsenal legend, Declan Rice.
No way. No way.
Put it against the black.
No way.
Okay, yeah, that is a weird little souvenir as well.
Guys, I need to tell you. No way. Look at this.
I don't know this footballer, but
It's a famous one.
We need to find an explanation.
Logical one. My God, so this looks so... You impress me every time. I'm telling you, Gary, you impress me every time. And these are, I would say, probably the most... I've seen you way bigger tricks than this. Yeah. So you started with this one. I'm sure you're gonna show us the different ones as well. Tell me about how is this job? How are you seen by people? Because obviously this is not something common to do magic. I mean, I'm telling you one thing. In Romania, for instance, there's a preconception. How is it called? Preconception. Yeah. So basically, some people are saying that some of the magic people, they will probably use black magic or white magic or whatsoever, from many years ago.
Yeah.
How do you think that you had anything to do with these people telling you if you use black magic? Or I would suppose that guy working on water, people will think, how can you do that? How can you? Because
I have been accused of that before.
Human mind can't think of that. How can he walk on water? So he might be going this. How do you see these things from your experience, obviously?
I have had people think that before, but what I do, I'm all tricks. I don't claim to have any special powers
Or something like this.
I don't have any special powers. What I do is skill, sleight of hand, misdirection.
So it's
lots of different things.
Is this something that any person can learn, or you have to have a skill for that?
I always say anyone can learn magic.
Yeah.
But performing magic is the tricky bit. That's the hard
So even
bit.
if you know the tricks,
I can teach some people tricks in 5 minutes, but they can go out there and they'll perform it completely wrong and get caught. Performing is the hard bit.
so that's the part that you all train on.
Yeah, so
how
I
to
mean, you
perform
can't
this.
really. You have to go out there, learn it. You have to mess it up. You have to try it a different way, mess it up until you get it the right way, and then you perfect it that way.
It's important for you what kind of people you have in front of you. If they are skeptical or maybe they are, you need to get their attention, right? For some of the tricks.
Yeah, depending on what you do. Sometimes, there's some things I do, like the mind reading. I use a lot of different techniques for that, and I'm relying on them to pick up certain things that I may say or do to influence them to think in a certain way.
What would you think from your experience by now? Obviously, I know you have a lot of, you can see that from your portfolio, you do a lot of things. How hard is to get into this field? How hard is to get into magic? Even if, let's say that you learn the things, but then obviously you need the experience of showing them in the right way.
Yeah, it's...
But even so, let's say that there are a lot of magicians, I suppose, right?
Yeah, there's quite a few, especially around
How
London.
hard is to get into this field?
It's probably quite tricky because to get the work, you need to be seen. And to be seen, you need to go out there. You have to get the jobs, don't you? So you've got...
So you need to have a lot of experience in the field for you to actually be able to be seen by someone.
You can tell a difference between someone who's quite experienced and not because every gig is different.
And how hard is to get into, for instance, you are paid for your tricks, obviously. You do. This is your main job, yeah?
That's my job, yeah.
How difficult is in your field to get the jobs? Because obviously you have competition, I suppose, as well.
Yeah, like I said, every magician's different, You've got to go out there, you've got to get the gigs, you've got to be different to the others.
So that's the main thing. The difference makes your style is different than other people's style, even if the tricks might be the same.
A lot of magicians do similar tricks, some do the same tricks, but every magician's different. People, you can be a magician, you can do the tricks, but people are booking you because they like you. I know some magicians who go out there, they won't do the most amazing tricks, but they're funny, they're great entertainers, and people are booking them because they're entertaining. You're there to entertain. The magic is your form of entertainment, but you're there to entertain.
So basically, if you are a good character and obviously you know how to entertain people, that's the success. That's the success in the field.
Yeah.
Even if many people will be skilled, it's not necessarily sure that they will be.
Sorry.
No problem. They will be a success. They will have success with being a full-time magician, maybe, or
I think it's with any kind of art. If you book a caricaturist for example, you can have lots of different caricaturists. Some could be amazing, some could be good. But if they're drawing your face, if one makes you feel more comfortable when they're drawing you, you're going to prefer that guy than maybe the other one who can do a better picture because you're more comfortable with that guy. Is a more entertaining guy.
You have a lot of tricks, do you? Because we
Quite
can.
a few, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Show us another one. We want you to have more action into this edition. Yeah.
We'll do a little bit more mind reading. We're up it, and then we'll go to some more kind of cardy stuff after. Okay. So we've done what? We've done 1 in 52 with the deck of cards. We've done 1 in 100 with the cutting out.
Yeah.
Let's go for 1 in a few thousand. Okay. I've just got to move this forward.
A few thousand, yeah.
A few thousand.
All right.
Right. So I've got a book here.
Okay.
Just picked up on the way here. It's 200 odd pages, thousands of words.
Yeah.
You just say stop for me.
Stop.
have a look at the first word on that page. Okay, don't say it.
yeah,
Are you
okay.
happy with that, or do you want to keep going?
Yeah, I'm happy with that. Yeah.
Take the book so I can't cheat.
Okay.
Right, think of the first letter of the word, but don't say it. Let me grab my pen.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to try this. I'm going to go with that. I'm going to show you the cameras as well, just so they know I'm not cheating.
Yeah.
What's the first letter?
L.
L? Got an L?
No.
Okay.
Okay.
Think of the next letter, don't say it. So I'll bring them back.
Yeah.
Think of the next letter, don't say it.
I'm not saying. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, I'm going to go with this. This is an O, yeah?
Is a no. Yeah.
In fact, this is a small word. We're going to try this again because I don't like small words. I'm going to show the camera so I can't change it. What's the word you're thinking of?
Low.
Low? Okay. But that's a small word. So let's try this
Okay.
again. Let me get rid of that. Right. You've got the book. I'm not going to touch the book this time.
Yeah.
This time you can open the book at any page and you can look at any word on that page. But
Even if it's not at the top.
anywhere, yeah. But that's a small word. Go long. Make it like 7, 8 or more letters.
Okay.
As random as possible. Anywhere in the book.
Okay.
Okay. The longer the word, the better. It makes it more interesting.
Yeah. Let me. Yeah. Actually, I have one word.
Okay. Shut the book.
Right.
Okay. Got a nice long word, yeah?
Yeah.
I'm going to go with that. What's the word?
Newspaper. Newspaper. Honestly. Look. This is what I opened and I was looking on this one.
And you could have picked any word, right?
How this is possible? I mean, obviously, even if you tend to guess the word, there are a lot of words starting with N. Even if I say the first letter, it could be anything with N.
It could be, yeah.
It could be from this book. I suppose that this book has a lot of situation in which, obviously, words are starting with N.
Yeah, you could have picked anyone.
Guys, please, I want every time to applaud this guy.
Oh, we're too shocked.
Yeah. Gary, I'm telling you, this is every time a pleasure to see when you do the tricks. And obviously, I've seen the tricks done in front of people.
Yep.
I'm not sure, but let me ask you. I've seen one trick that you're doing. You've done that for me with the bottle of.
Yep.
Do you have a bottle with you?
I can't do that one. I can't do that one today. No.
That's difficult.
Yeah.
It's a different way of doing it. Yeah.
Yeah, that one's more of a live trick.
Oh, so there are some tricks that you can do live, and some of them that you can do as a table like this, right? So you.
Yeah, so that one I prefer. That's a special one. I prefer to do that one live.
Okay, so you actually. But let me ask you about this. Is there a condition when you're going somewhere? For instance, like if you are at a table like this,
Yep.
you can do some of the tricks, but not some of them? Or
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's a
much-
bit easier to stand up.
it's the most easiest one is to stand, then you can do all of them if you stand up and you have space around you.
Yeah, I mean, I could do most tricks sitting down, but obviously, as a magician, you need sometimes a lot easier to stand up.
All right. Tell me one thing. This is obviously taking you a little bit of your time. How do you have time for the family as well? Because you have a beautiful family. I know your family as well.
I mean-
And how many kids you have?
I've got 2 girls.
2 girls. Yeah. Congratulations
Thank
for
you.
that. How do you have time for that? Your wife is not working into magic field, isn't it?
No, she's not in the magic
She's
field,
not
no.
anything that has
I mean,
anything with.
I mean, I do work in the week, but most of my job, most of the magic work is quite unsociable hours. It's like weekends, evenings and stuff. So I see the family during the day. Obviously, I do get some weekends free. The wife, if I get an inquiry and I look at the diary, I'll see no gigs booked in the diary. So my wife has access to my diary, so she will literally book it out. No
Is
gigs.
she booking? Is she booking
So
that for you?
yeah, so if there's like a family event or something, I'll look at the diary, no gigs, so I know not to book anything that day.
How are you, for instance, at home? Because I know many magicians sometimes they tend to obviously live into this field, right?
Yeah.
Can you make the difference at home when you go to your kids, to your family, to your wife? Can you make the separation of being a magic most of your time, but obviously at home you probably do some time, tricks to them as well. But for you to actually not, like I would make a comparison with, for instance, how do you call stand-upper, yeah? Which says jokes every time.
Yeah, yeah.
And some friends of mine, which they are stand-uppers, they said to me that they have they tend to do that at home as well with the family. When obviously you don't do stand-up at home, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But they tend to go, to get the role when they are home as well. Did you ever had this situation for you
Not
to
really.
try and
I do occasionally show them a trick or something I'm learning, but generally no. When I'm at home, I'm just
You just
dad. Just
relax,
dad, yeah.
normal, like any individual.
When you go to a gig, you're in performer mode. So
I suppose that all the family
Yeah.
knows all the gigs, all the tricks, right?
how they're done or seen all the tricks.
No, to sing.
Yeah, they've seen
You
pretty
don't-
much all of them.
Do
yeah.
you tell them how you do it to your family?
I try not to. I mean, my girls and my wife, to be honest, they've seen all the tricks, so they kind of know what to look out for these days.
Right.
So they're the best audience because if I can fool them, I know I can fool anyone.
That's what. Honestly, this is what we discussed, and we have obviously a few games here as well.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. So one of the game, which we're gonna do a bit later, is called True or False. Yeah.
Okay.
And then obviously some of the questions are connected to this. What's the most difficult trick? To trick an adult or a kid?
A kid.
A kid.
100%, yeah.
Really?
Because kids think more logically, I think.
Than adults.
Adults try and they try and think like the weirdest or craziest way to accomplish it, whereas a kid would think the more logical route. And a lot of times, you just have to go down the logical route.
So do you ever had any situation that a kid knew what you're doing? What was the trick? Discovering?
No, they sometimes people think they know how it's done, but it's not. And even if they do get it right, I wouldn't tell them that.
I know this is interesting. Everyone would think, even I would think that adults, obviously being adults,
I personally think kids, because as well, they all look on YouTube and stuff. Nowadays, when I started, there was no YouTube. I had to go to a magic shop or go to a library, get a magic book and read that book. Now, kids go on YouTube, they just type in the trick and they find someone explaining it.
By the way, he was a guy, I don't know, maybe a few years ago. You've probably seen the mask guy, which he revealed a lot of the tricks. But I suppose that the old style one, right? The one of the generation of...
Some of them are still performed today. People don't remember. They watch it, they go, oh, that's good. And then they forget about it.
Is it something that, for instance, when a guy, which I suppose that the mask one, many people, they were saying that he was a professional in the field, that he actually wanted to reveal for, I don't know what reason.
I think most of us think the reason was money, but...
But you think so, that this is
there's no reason for a magician to go on TV and reveal their tricks.
But do you think that is gathering, obviously, audience and videos on social media, and obviously they'll get their money? Do you think that was the reason? Or maybe someone paid them to do this?
Yeah, he would have been paid.
What's happening if a magician does this in the, magic, for instance, magic circle?
Well, you're going to get kicked out.
They'll be kicked out.
It's quite frowned. I mean, Penn and Teller, you heard of Penn and Teller?
Yeah.
I believe they're members now, but for many years they weren't allowed to be members of the Magic Circle because they revealed tricks in their show.
Really? So it's something that obviously, so this is very serious, the Magic Circle.
Yeah.
So that's the organization that will kick out the Magic Circle, yeah? So because you do reveal one trick, then you probably be excluded. If you are excluded, what's happening? You're not allowed?
I think it depends. Like, if you're teaching some kind of basic tricks, like you bring out a magic book, you're teaching basic tricks, and you're getting people interested in magic, that's different. But when you're going out there and revealing a trick that
for the money also,
many magicians do as their job, then that's a different story,
Because it's a reason why you do that, and sometimes it can be a good reason. Maybe, as you said, maybe someone teaching, but sometimes it's not.
Yeah, so you can teach some basic stuff that get people interested in it, and then they'll go and learn some new stuff. But if you're going out there and you're showing a big illusion, how to saw someone in half, and there's hundreds of magicians around the world who do that trick as part of their job,
then they might be losing their job.
They can't do that trick anymore.
So if they are excluded from the Magic Circle, then obviously they're not allowed to perform anywhere.
They can perform, you just can't say that you're a member anymore.
Oh, so you can perform. Is there anything to do? So if you're not a member, what's the downside of that thing if you're not a member anymore?
It's the prestige of being a member.
It's the prestige.
Everyone's heard of the Magic Circle. Not everyone knows what it is, but they've all heard of the Magic Circle.
So it's like you have to be into that one for you to be, obviously, to have the prestige of being into that. So if you are more recognized. So it's like you said, like the credit is coming up with a credit that obviously you are inside that one.
Yeah, it tells people that you're good at what you do because you've had to be at a certain level to be a member.
How costly is this? Obviously, it's a passion as well what you're doing, right?
Magic?
So you like it, yeah. How costly is this? I know you.
It's a very expensive hobby when you start out.
Doesn't look like from outside. I'm telling you. That's why I've asked you this thing, because from outside, people, they can see a card of deck. How much can cost that one? A few other things, they do little things, and they think, how costly could be this? How costly it is?
Well, think of it like going to uni. Uni is expensive, isn't it? People are teaching you their knowledge.
Yeah.
Some people have spent years perfecting their art. So to be able to teach you their art, you've got to pay for it.
For all that one. So you need to do like a school? You do like a normal school like you
There's
do for
lots of, like I said, when I started, it was books. It was just books and videos, VHS videos.
So you studied by yourself? You didn't have a teacher?
Yeah, I was all self-taught.
Okay, all right.
So yeah, I bought some, I used to go to a magic shop in London, buy some books, buy some videos, and sit at home and just watch those videos, read those books, and learn it all from there.
And if someone wants to learn these days, do they have a school for that?
You can go on YouTube. There's lots of like masterclass stuff online. There's loads of people selling magic courses online now. You can learn it pretty much anywhere.
You know, I wanted to ask you, Gary. So obviously, I know it could be a silly question, yeah? But obviously, that's a movie. Some of the Harry Potter things.
Yep.
Have you seen them in your life, or can they be? Or it's just
really, I've only seen a couple of them, and I only watched them the last few years. I think with my kids.
Yeah, and
I've only seen like one and two. I think.
Is that obviously suggestions from real life? So some of them still exist. Obviously, everyone saw Harry Potter, yeah.
Yeah.
But some of them are actually magic tricks that are actually performed by some people, or not?
No, I mean, some people can perform things that were on that. But obviously that's fantasy and...
Okay, reason why some people I've seen online that they use like some magic, how do you call them? Magic stick or something like this in some of these. Is that used just to get your attention? Obviously not nowadays. Nowadays, all the magic things.
Wand.
Like a magic wand, yeah. In the past, there was some people using magic wand or something, yeah. Even Copperfield, if I'm not mistaken, at some point he had that. Like he was doing the... the bunny was in his head to disappear or something like this, yeah? You remember those kind of tricks?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
So I've made this comparison with Harry Potter doing, with the magic wand.
Yeah.
That's probably, when you say magic, at least in Romania, everyone thinks of someone doing something with a magic wand and make someone disappearing or something.
Yeah, I think that's quite old school. That's very sort of 80s.
But you think that that is coming from something real at some point? You can make
I imagine.
Disappearing this way?
I don't know that part of the history of magic, but I imagine, it's probably come from fantasy and wizards and,
So I suppose it probably came from there. So do you think the wizards, they existed, the wizards, before?
I don't think they existed. I don't think they existed, but I think they were just very clever magicians.
So they were still magicians, but very clever.
Yeah.
All right, because that's I'm telling you, that's why one thing for the people which obviously they lived about 20 plus years ago, all about the magic.
Yeah.
At some point he was doing something with the magic wand, So or anyway, these guys, right? That everyone is comparing magic with the magic wand in a way, yeah? Doing things. You have another trick for us?
Yeah, we're doing
a
trick.
Show us another one. I really like this, guys. Honestly, I can't explain. I'm still looking at this footballer. I can't understand it.
Let's do this. You might need to zoom in the camera for this one. This is kind of a visual one.
All right.
Okay, so obviously no one carries cash anymore. It's all bank cards and like iPhone, Apple Pay and stuff. I carry newspaper, so if I ever drop my wallet, people don't get any cash. But what you do when you do need cash, you kind of take one, chuck it, and it turns into cash.
No way.
Wait, again.
No, again.
I'd say we'll change it back just because I've got to go out later and I don't want anyone to nick my wallet. We'll change that straight back to newspaper and we're back to where we started.
No way. Can you change it one more time to cash?
Change it one more time.
So now our newspapers, yeah?
So there's got newspaper here. If we take one of them, so we'll give it a chuck.
Yeah.
Change it straight into cash and we're sort of back to where we started. Maybe I'll keep that actually for later, will you?
No way. If we bring you a newspaper, can you do some cash? My God. So guys, can you explain these things? No, okay, he can't. It's his job.
It's my job, yeah.
So this is actually My God, so this is... All right, so you do these kind of things everywhere you go.
Yep.
So other people, obviously some of them, they will ask you, are they asking you, how you do it, right? Many times I think you receive that question.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, everyone asks that.
So basically, when you receive that question, obviously you can't tell your secret, yeah? What if, for instance, you do cash and you get this question, like we've done it now as a joke?
Yeah.
Can you make me some money with that? Is that, obviously everyone is friendly, I suppose, everywhere you go.
Yeah, nowadays, when I first started, Magic, before kind of Dynamo made it popular, Blaine came along, Magic was still quite geeky.
Okay.
But nowadays, since Dynamo's come along, everyone loves it. So you don't get, everyone just wants to see the magic and stuff.
Have you ever had people reacting differently to this? Like maybe they getting nervous, because some people sometimes on the street, you attract them, you try them, so let me stop you for a magic, and they say no sir, I don't want that, because they obviously compare this with black magic.
Yeah, I have had that before. Yeah,
people are refusing to see that, you know. But have you seen people getting nervous for something? Or maybe, I don't know, maybe because they don't understand, obviously you can't explain the trick, or maybe because, I don't know, they are in a position there to be... Did you ever had any situation like this?
I've had once or twice where people have been quite freaked out because they believe in black magic and stuff, and they believe what I was doing is that. But generally, nowadays, I think people know it's tricks. They like to be tricked.
So they don't get confrontational for that? Or
no, some
like...
people say, how's it done? But then a lot of people now, they don't want to know how it's done because it ruins the trick. I wish I could see magic how you guys see magic now. It's very rare for me to be fooled by a magic trick. When I do get fooled by a trick, I love it because I haven't had that experience since I was a kid.
That's a good thing. Actually, I wanted to ask you, have you ever seen a magic? You have someone make magic to you?
Yeah, so nowadays it's very rare I see a trick that I don't know and it fools me because I know the theories, I know how things work. But when I do see it, I love it. When I was a kid, it was magic to me. You know, someone changes paper to money back then, that was pure magic.
I'm wondering if, for instance, let's say that obviously to a job maybe, or maybe somewhere you go in a pub, or maybe sometime you go with your family, and you see, let's say one magician doing a trick that you don't know.
Yeah.
Usually magicians are sharing the tricks between them.
Yeah, I mean, yes and no. You have magicians do lectures, you go to magic clubs and there's magicians that will teach you stuff and do lectures, but at the same time, some people have spent a lot of money learning that trick.
So they can't give you their secret.
Yeah, so they can't give, or someone might have invented that trick themselves and it's their own personal trick. They don't want to...
Can you invent tricks as well? Yeah. So they not
there's lots of magicians out there who invent tricks.
Have you invented a few of them in your career?
Maybe one or two. I'm not a great magical inventor, but I do things, I adapt tricks into my own way. That's one thing I'm kind of good at. So for example, like the bottle one you mentioned, that's not my trick. I'll never take credit as my trick, but I do my own version of that. It's different to the way it was taught to me.
So obviously you adapt the trick in a way.
Yeah.
You make it better than you got it initially. Probably when you get this trick, maybe one of them, some of them, you can obviously adapt them, doing them your style.
Yes, basically, yeah.
Guys, I'm telling you, this is something that I can't explain. Even if I look at one trick 100 times, I don't know how is it possible. Before doing another one, because I want to say, we have a few of them, yeah? You said, we told them we need to tell them that the people that were actually we wanted to see more, yeah? Because obviously you can see our faces. We have a few, should you call these tricks for you? No, games, like same games as well, yeah? As obviously this is relaxed. I want you to now do a game together with us. We have a few questions just to find out a few insights about you as well. So we're gonna do a game where we're gonna have 2 seconds to answer to a question, yeah?
Okay.
We have a few questions here. We wanna see how you're answering to this one, and obviously for us to find out a bit more things about you. Guys, if you have the question ready, let's see what are the answers. They are very simple. Sunrise or sunset?
Sunset.
Sunset, yeah? All right. Text or phone call?
Phone call.
Phone call, yeah? Being too hot or too cold?
I'll say too hot. Dogs, 100% dogs.
So if you are...
You confuse, is it, do I like being too hot or do I not like being too hot? That's the question. I don't like being cold.
The question, yeah. How do you feel it, right? That was the idea. However you see it, yeah. So basically, it could be
I
one
like
of
the,
them. You
I
feel
like
like
the
too
heat.
cold.
I don't like the cold.
You,
Okay.
you like the heat.
Yeah.
I was thinking actually the same. How do you feel it? Like
Yeah.
too cold, or you like too cold, too hot? Dogs or cats?
Dogs.
All right, let's go to the next one. So dogs,
Dogs, 100%.
fame or privacy?
Ooh, bit of both, really.
Plan or improvise?
Plan.
Plan, yeah. Luck or talent?
Luck.
Okay. Trust or proof?
Trust. I'm not really get that one, yeah.
Proof, like for instance, if someone has to, if you offer trust to the people, or you want proofs of that something.
Oh, proof then, sorry. Proof.
Proof, yeah?
I'm all about
okay. Unlimited time or unlimited money?
Unlimited money.
Unlimited money, yeah? Free will or destiny?
Free will.
Free will, yeah? Freedom or security?
Freedom.
All right.
Yeah.
How can a magician plan something in advance? Because obviously, I suppose that many of them, let me actually rephrase it. There are some magic tricks that you improvise.
Yeah. I mean, I can't really go into that, to be honest. That's
No, I understand that, but is there a necessity at some point for a magician to improvise? Even if you have a plan. Let's say that you have,
Oh,
for
yeah,
instance,
I improvise all the time. Sometimes, sometimes tricks don't go to plan.
All right.
Ronaldo, Messi, two of the best players in the world, they still miss a goal.
Okay, yeah.
Every magician, they can tell you they never fail. Every magician messes up at some point, so you have to improvise.
How do you know if, for instance, you go to many events, yeah?
Yeah.
How do you know if, for instance, or actually, let me ask you, if you go to many events, would you change your tricks to the next one if you see that most of the people, you know them from the previous ones? Let's say there are some parties that you already know most of the people.
So, I mean, I've got my kind of set repertoire. I have other tricks and stuff, and I'm watching the audience as well. So even if I'm at one table, if I've got tables very close to each other and I'm doing magic at one table and I can see that table next to me is watching me, so they know what's going to happen, I'll make sure I do completely different tricks to them so they don't know what to expect.
So you can actually do from a table to another a different trick.
Yeah, 100%, yeah.
And obviously, if they come interested to the other table and look at this,
they'll see different tricks. I'm always watching, they're watching me, but I'm watching around me. So I'm making sure, I know who's watching, I know when they're watching, and that's how you got to adapt.
let's do another one, Gary.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. I want the tricks.
Right.
We want the tricks.
Okay, let's do one more
Mm-hmm.
thing here. Where's my pen? Let's try this actually.
All right.
Right, I need your hands for this. Can you just hold out your hands?
Yeah.
Both hands.
Yeah.
Is that on shot? Can you see that? You can see it, yeah? Perfect. Right. Do a fist for me. Right. Are you left or right-handed?
Right.
Okay, put your right hand down just in case
Yeah.
it goes wrong again. Right, if I draw a little cross here,
Yeah.
what we can do,
Yeah.
I can actually take that off of my hand, like that, and throw it into yours.
No. No. No way. No way. Is this real?
Yeah, that will come off in a few weeks.
You see, yeah? No way. Oh my God. So this is something that obviously you do the trick. So it'll go in, you said in a few weeks or in a few days.
It'll wash off.
Okay. This is something that I find this incredible, honestly, because obviously, even if you see magicians doing this, you probably, that's a good question, actually. Do you see other magicians in work, I suppose, or you are the only one doing a job when you go to your jobs?
What do you mean? Do I see other magicians when I'm working?
Yeah, for instance, when you go, you go to events where there are 2-3 magicians invited.
Yeah, sometimes if you do a big event and there's hundreds of people there, there'll be a team of us.
How do you do, for instance, if they have, obviously you said that most of the magic tricks, they are learned,
Yeah.
but you adapt them. How do you share the tricks between you and actually not doing the same tricks to the people?
So every magician's different. We all have our own styles. There's some tricks that we'll all kind of do, but if we're doing an event together, we all kind of chat and just make sure we're not crossing over.
Most of the times it's happening for you to do this at the stage or maybe close
So I do
magic with
mostly
the people?
close up. Occasionally I do a stage thing, but most of my stuff is close up, mix and
Is that a
mingle.
different kind of magic if you
Yeah.
have to do it to everyone?
Yeah, so performing to everyone's completely different.
It's completely different.
Yeah, I think so.
You think that more difficult or the close-up one? Or you
I
need
think,
more
yeah,
equipment?
It's a different style of magic. When you're close up, you've got a group of people, you've got to fool that group of people. When you've got a whole room of people, you've got to, obviously, it's like when I did BGT,
Yeah.
that was the first time I've ever been on stage, really. I'm used to doing a group of 10 people, and I've got
Okay.
2,000 people. So
It's a massive difference.
to do a try, so I did, again, you won't see it, but if you look at the YouTube videos, you'll see the bottle trick. That's the trick I did on Britain's Got Talent. Now
Alright.
I could do that in
You're
front
gonna
of,
share some pictures with us because it's a shame
yeah.
that we haven't seen.
Yeah,
And the
it's-
video as well. We want to post it on this, this interview with you. As it's incredible. I'm telling you. I know that you use some of the good tricks in Britain Got Talent, but somehow you didn't manage to get there.
Yeah.
So you were saying that obviously when you go to the crowd, you done it for 10 people, and then
yeah,
obviously you
so
done it
10
to-
people, I can control where they're looking. So I can do whatever I need to do, but 2,000 people and 15 cameras,
Yeah.
I can't control what they're
So-
looking at. So,
That needs a different rehearsal. So you've done a different kind of trick at that
well,
stage.
I did the same trick. I did the bottle trick. That's what, yeah.
All right, so you go close. You still go close to the judge.
I went down to the judges,
Okay.
but obviously I've got 2,000 people. I can I can control what the judges are watching, but I can't control what everyone who's in the audience is watching. So,
Right. So, as you said about American, obviously the Britain Got Talent. We've seen magician into America as well. We've
Yeah.
seen into Britain as well. Many of them, the magician, for instance, are doing magic that obviously we can't imagine.
yeah.
You've seen these kind of tricks, yeah? Obviously, I'm not sure if you obviously you can't say if that's true or not, if it's real or not, but is it possible, I'm just asking you, is it possible for the tricks that they are doing, obviously in front of so many thousands of people,
Yeah.
for actually them to be helped a little bit by the TV or no? That's something that many people are thinking, Gary. That's why
Yeah.
if they go there, if I look as a normal individual, I'll say, no, that's impossible. Without them
Yeah.
working together with the television, it's impossible to do that.
Yeah, I don't really, I don't know if I can go down that route, but I'm sure you can, you can
Imagine.
make your own kind of assumptions to that.
So I suppose that many people, obviously, we know already what the people are doing the assumptions, but some of the things,
Yeah.
obviously they are doing that. Some of them are obviously intriguing to everyone.
Yeah.
I suppose that that's real magic. I know that for sure. They can't be there if they don't do magic, if they're not good at that.
Yeah, they've got
But many
the
people
skill.
are thinking that they are helped in doing some of the things that are too difficult. Now, obviously, I'm not gonna tell you to tell as if it was, but if you go, for instance, to a route like this, let's say that obviously it's not a TV. Let's say
Yeah.
that you go to a party, yeah? And many people obviously they see tricks. Maybe not nowadays. Nowadays you said they changed. It's more, at least with the closed one,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
can use cards and everything. But before, when they were actually performing on the stage, like we discussed about David Copperfield, yeah,
Yeah.
and they are looking from some of them from 10 meters. Some of them they are in the front line,
Yeah, yeah.
VIP section, and that's 10 meters maybe or whatever, 2-3 meters away from Copperfield doing that thing.
Yep.
And you know he's doing one trick with cutting a person.
Yep.
You know why people are obviously thinking, how is this possible for you to go on that stage and actually cut a person?
Yep.
And obviously that to be a magic, for that person to come actually alive at the end of that. So in people's mind, that's why many people, and I was actually thinking, I would say to you at some point seeing that those tricks, I say, right, how I couldn't believe that David Copperfield, he cut someone. I would not believe that this guy done that or whatever they've done. Some of the tricks, which they were like, you know, incredible in a way of thinking.
This is where Penn and Teller are great, actually, because if you watch some of their shows,
Yeah.
they will show you how those tricks are done. This is why they weren't allowed in the magic circle for a while. But they
Yeah.
will then do the trick straight after in a completely different way.
So you can't realize that it's done.
So they'll show you a trick. For example, they'll show you how they cut someone in half.
Yeah.
And then they will do the same trick, but do it completely different that cancels out the way you just saw. So they show you how things are possible, but then they do it completely different way. So they might show you how to saw someone in half and they use 2 people, and then they'll take someone out of the box, they've got 1 person, and then they'll do it again, even though they've just got rid of the second person.
And obviously, have they done this in front of public?
Yeah, they, if you watch their TVs, if you watch, I don't know if they do it now, but if you watch the old Penn and Teller Fool Us, at the end of each show, they would then do a trick and show you kind of how it's done, but then they would do the trick again completely different.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's intriguing. Even if we all think that obviously some of them, they are actually worked, you can do that.
Yeah.
It's intriguing of obviously going to nowadays, obviously, as I said, they changed. But before, when you cut people in half or something like this, that's why in some communities, like Romanian communities, I said to you, because the people can't assume that that's something that it could be real in real life. They think, yeah, it has to be something. Even if they don't really think that, but it has to be. Because you don't have an explanation
But
for that.
that's a great feeling. That's
the great
how
feeling
I used to feel as a kid. So the sawing in half, for example.
Yeah.
Back in the day, they used to do it in a box. I think, there might be other people, I think David Copperfield was the first person to do it, but his one, the box opened up, so you just saw him laying there, no box, saw comes down and they pull him apart, and his body is literally there in 2 halves.
Yeah.
That blew my mind as a kid.
There was the trigger. What would you say?
There was no explanation. He's laying there, you can see his body in half. And I saw that on stage as a
We
kid.
saw that, all of us on TV.
I saw that on stage. When
You saw that on the stage?
He came to London back in the 90s. I got to see that in person.
Really?
There's no explanation when I was a kid.
Even now you can't explain it because you are a magician.
I have some ideas now, but back then, that feeling of seeing that, like you said, there's no explanation. To me, that's magic. There's no...
Incredible,
No
guys.
way.
Incredible.
So that's why
a
it's
magician
not...
saying that.
That's why when people say, how's it done? Don't find out, because you'll lose that feeling.
You're going to lose that feeling. Obviously, I agree, totally agree with you. I'm not one of the
To
guys.
this day, I still remember that feeling of seeing that.
But people are still thinking of that being impossible. Obviously, it's good to not think of how it's done. I believe that. But many people, they believe it's not possible because they can't find that a possible explanation. They can't find for a real explanation for that. Can you do another trick? Let's do another one.
Yeah.
And then I will have a trick after that for you. We prepare one trick, yeah?
Right.
Let's see which one we're doing. We need another one. This one, guys, I'm telling you.
How many more do you want?
What?
How many more do you want?
As many you have. How many you have left?
2 or 3 more, maybe I can do.
All right, and then the final one.
Well, that includes the final.
That includes the final.
Yeah.
All right, then. There's another one.
Okay, I kind of need to stand up for this one, I think.
Okay.
Right, am I okay and shot with this one? Yep. Right, have you got a ring that I can borrow?
A ring, yeah.
Yeah, a ring.
Yeah.
So I'd use mine, but you'd think it's dodgy. Right, can I
Yeah.
borrow that? Okay, we'll just show that to the camera. There's no diamonds or anything in there, is there?
No.
No, okay.
No.
It's on camera as well, so you can't say it's a different ring when I give it back.
No.
For your peace of mind, though, if I lose it, you can have the keys to my house, and you can take everything in it to the value of your ring, okay? I've got made
Okay.
Not the house, just the value of your ring. How
Just
many
the
keys are
value.
there?
1, 2.
2 in the alarm fob.
2 in the alarm, yeah.
Yeah, you hold on to those. If I lose it, you've got the house keys. Hold those tight.
Okay.
Nothing in this hand. Watch. You can actually
Yeah.
throw it, and it lands in... Oh, hang on. So sometimes I get the wrong hand.
No way. Guys, so this is my ring and it was in your hand and now it's here.
Now, the golden rule of magic, when you first learn, is you're not supposed to repeat a trick. But I'm going to break that rule and I'm going to do that one again.
You do that one again?
I'm gonna give
All
you a
right,
second
let's
chance.
do it again. Yeah, okay.
Okay?
My God, this is...
You take that off. Right, hold on to that for a second.
How could
while
you
I put these
that?
away.
Yeah.
Right, obviously you know what's going to happen this time.
Okay.
Okay, so you're going to be watching a bit closer.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have to do it a little bit different. So I'm going to distract you all, and hopefully the camera, with a piece of string.
Yeah.
Okay? Will you grab that?
Right.
Just check that for me, make sure there's nothing dodgy with that.
No?
Cool. Right, we'll grab this,
Yeah.
place that through there. So you can see that's going through
Yeah.
the camera as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, when it's on the string, if we give it a little kind of rub, it starts to melt through. Okay, we'll do that one again, watch. We'll throw, through there. We'll throw that on there so you can see that's genuinely going through there, yeah?
Yeah. Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Just check it, make sure, just show the camera that it is on there.
Guys. It's here, yeah?
Okay, we'll take that a step further. You can see it's going through. Show that close up. We grab the ring, pull it, it comes off. But the cool bit is you can just chuck it straight back on. Again, check that. That is genuinely on there. Okay, we'll take that one step further. You can see that's going through there. Hopefully the camera can see it. We'll twist the ends together so I can't even get that off the ends. Ooh, terrible twisting. There we go. Hold on to those ends for me.
Yeah.
You grab the ring, we do that, it comes off. Oh, hang on. We do that, there you go. Lands on my finger.
No way.
You can put that safely back on your finger.
No way. Guys, please. Wow. Guys. Guys, this is live, I'm telling you. Gary, I have to tell you. Oh my God. Guys, can you believe this thing?
No.
Because we've all seen it on TV, but not live like this.
Magic should always be seen live, I think.
That's obviously, that's what I wanted to ask you as well.
Yeah.
What do you think about this? But you already said it's better to be live.
I think we live, yeah. So like you said earlier, when you watch it on TV,
Yeah.
you're thinking maybe this
is happening. But obviously many people, if they already got famous,
Yeah.
I suppose that they will only have time to, or would they have time to do it live as well? When you
they're
get
probably-
famous, maybe, or like,
Yeah, they'll still do like private appearances and stuff.
but maybe in the Las Vegas or so whatsoever.
Yeah,
where they,
Vegas shows, that's the
not
pinnacle
the
Vegas.
big
yeah.
shows, but not maybe not too many close up like this with, in pubs and.
Yeah, no, they'll be doing the shows and stuff now.
I'm telling you, this is something that obviously we never. I mean, even if I knew that, obviously, I don't know the tricks. I never knew the tricks, but I knew that you're good. Now surprise me. You surprised me a lot. I'm telling you, this was, guys. Please, one more time, please. All right, guys. Gary, let's do a trick.
Okay.
Now we want to do a trick for you. Yeah.
Right.
So we have here a game, and we have a few questions. Yeah. The game is to answer true or false, right? Because we're changing. I'm gonna tell you, my team is always changing the game conditions just because they don't want me to find out. Obviously, what it is there. Sometimes we have riddles, but they don't want me to find out, which is good. Yeah. And now, so what, guys? What he has to do? He has to answer if it's true or false. Yeah.
Yeah, they're basically statements.
Yeah.
You can try it first, and then he can tell you what the correct answer is.
So I'm telling you, I'm reading something to you, and you tell me if it's true or false. Yeah. Obviously, they are based. I try to guess first, and obviously. Okay. So it's one thing. One first question. Yeah. So magic is mostly about having fast hands. All these are connected to magic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is this true or false?
So have you got to guess that, or
I don't think it's only connected to fast hands. You can have fast hands, but if you don't have the tricks. So is magic mostly about having fast hands?
no? I'd say that's false.
That's false.
Fast hands might help with certain tricks, but no, it's not mostly.
All right, so this is for. We have the answers of this, yeah? But the answers are coming of the people. What do we have the answers from the people or their opinion, actually? This is not an answer if you're thinking. It's just everyone's opinion, right? So basically are not questions, but are opinions, yeah? Statements, okay. So you think that this is false?
I think that's false, yeah.
Okay. All right, so let's get this right. So these are not questions then, are just statements. All right, so we're going to want to find out your opinion, yeah? All right, the word magic comes from ancient Persian priest called Magie.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
You think it's true or false? What do you think, your opinion?
I'm going to guess true, but I don't know.
You're going to guess?
Yeah. My
I would
magic
guess
history is not
true
like
as well. I would say that this is, I mean, I don't know why, but the Magie for me comes like magic.
That's true. There you go.
All right. Magicians have been using the same basic techniques for hundreds of years.
Yeah, I'd say that's pretty true.
So the same techniques.
Yeah, I mean, one of the tricks, the cups and balls, is the oldest trick known to man. That's what King Charles did in his audition. That's been hundreds of years, I think.
So they use the same technique, but obviously adapting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would think the same. Actually, I would think the same. How can you change all the stuff? You can't change it all. You can just adapting. All right. The first recorded magic trick is over 4,000 years old. What do you think about that?
I would probably say that's true. 'Cause I think back in the Egyptian times, there were magicians and stuff.
Doing this, what they called wizards at that time.
Yeah.
But
Not
still,
necessarily doing card tricks, but I'm pretty sure, my history may be wrong here, I'm pretty sure I've seen somewhere there's like pictures of hieroglyphics or something of what
doing.
looks like a magician.
Yeah, I would actually think the same thing, to be honest. Because I think that this obviously is a long time ago, not only what we can feel like. Is this the opinion of, I suppose that these statements are obviously official online, probably an opinion of other people, right? Okay. If you know how a trick works, it stop being amazing?
Yes, true, 100%.
It's
Yeah.
so this comes from you.
I've said that a few times today.
Yeah, so it's,
I can't see it
you know,
like I used to see it as a kid. I still appreciate a good magic trick, but when I know how it's done, you don't see the magic anymore.
because you know what's behind that thing. Yeah, so that's why it's best to not
When you know
the
how it's
magic.
done, you see a trick. When you don't know how it's done, you see magic.
You see magic, exactly. Yeah, good words actually. Good comparison. All right, a magician's biggest skill is controlling where people look.
I don't know if it's the biggest skill, but it's one of the most important, I would say.
That is important where the
Misdirection,
people
yeah.
are looking. Misdirection.
Yeah, I'd say true. I do
Alright.
a lot of misdirection, so. I'd
So
say-
it's something that you actually use. All
Yeah.
the magicians they use in their tricks, right? Magician never reveal their secrets to anyone. Oh, this is a tricky one.
Well, I mean, you say there has to be false because there's people out there teaching magic tricks. Even magicians, they write books and stuff. So
So this is, even if it's true,
you're not supposed to,
You're
but
not supposed to
technically,
have-
it's false because people have
because
got to learn somehow.
you shouldn't do this.
What's that?
It's very interesting.
Yeah.
The answer you said. All right, so we come to the last one. Let's see what it is. All right, you already told us. He already answered before, so he knew the magic. Children are easier to fool than adults.
Yeah.
already-
In my opinion, yes, I think so.
So it's easier or harder to fool the children?
I think they're harder to fool
harder to fool, so
Yeah.
not easier to fool. So adults are easier
because
to
I
fool.
think they look more logically. I remember seeing this thing online once where they showed, I think there was a bus with two faces on it. And they asked adults which way the bus was going.
Oh, I get.
And all the
I
adults
understand what we're trying to say. Yeah.
usually got it wrong, but the kids got it right because the kids said the bus driver's sitting there, so it's going that way. Kind of.
Oh, makes sense. So this is like they always look for a
are
logical thing.
The adults are looking around the picture, trying to see all these other clues. The kids just looking at the door on the bus, or I think it was the door on the bus. They knew which side the door was, so they know which way the bus is going.
So they always go for logical explanation. I have to tell you, this is, even if you told us a few things. Right, let's see another one. Let's see another one, guy. Yeah.
Right.
It's still impressive, even if we have explanation on this. So some of them, I would probably look at as an adult. Now that you told me, I'll probably look at the trick different. I would say to you.
Okay, so we'll do something quickly with the cards, and then I've got the final one after this.
Yeah.
Right, do you want to take out a card for me?
Yeah. Any, yeah?
Yeah, anyone you want.
Okay.
Have a look at it. Show the camera.
This is the, yeah. Okay.
Again, just say stop.
Stop.
Cool. Place it back.
Yeah.
We'll put the rest on top. Now, there's an easy way to find your card. When we do this, one card should turn blue, and that tells me that it's your card. What was your card?
6 of heart.
The 6 of hearts. Okay. That could be a fluke.
Okay.
Right, so let's
Okay.
try this again. Could you just shout stop for me? Anyone?
Stop.
Stop. Cool. Have a look at that one.
Yeah. Should we tell it?
No, don't tell me.
No,
Can
no.
you see it, yeah?
Yeah.
Cool, we'll put it back. And they are genuinely different. When we do this, one card turns blue. One card turns blue. One card turns blue. Hang on, did I go past it? Did you go past the blue card? Ah, do you know, I always get this one wrong. Sorry, it's not one card turns blue. It's the blue card turns into your card.
No.
What was your card?
8 of heart.
The 8 of hearts.
No way. No way. So it was the same card down there. It was 6 of heart.
Yeah, but then
We
he
all
was-
saw it.
Then he was 8.
Then become an 8. But the same card.
Wow.
Gary, I'm telling you, this is that's why I said to these guys that I'm working with, magic is still, even for us, obviously, we all know, or every person, every individual these days, they know,
Yep.
you know, they've seen some of the tricks, they've seen some of the things. For me personal, they are still amazing, and even if some of them probably are seen online or maybe shows like this. Let me get you forward into this just before. Obviously, we want to do the final one
Yeah.
a little bit in a few minutes. But I want to ask you before that. Obviously, do you have a final one considering how difficult it is, or you actually choose random which one is the final one?
I have kind of my sort of showpiece tricks. I think that's the way to thought, like the.
So you have one
Which is kind of
showpiece,
like,
which is-
it's like a finale trick. It kind of ends the trick, and it's, my opinion, one of the better ones. So
obviously, another thing that I wanted to ask you. You said unlimited money.
Yeah.
Yeah. And obviously, what you said, you didn't say luck. You said that's destiny, no, or luck.
that's
What was
luck, yeah.
What was the question? Luck or talent? You said talent, yeah.
I think I said luck.
You said luck, yeah.
Yeah.
Why do you think that luck is better than talent?
Because I think luck is a lot of successful people have got success from a bit of luck.
But obviously, you need to be skilled.
You need to
for
be
you to
skilled,
have-
but I think you also need a bit of luck. You know, even the best poker players, they can be skilled, but you need the cards to fall in your.
Exactly, I get what you're saying. But even so, you need. So in this field, it's like in any other field. If you want to become a footballer, you need to have the skill to do it.
You need to have the skill.
If you're not skilled,
But
even
you
if
also
you
need
look,
to be scouted. You need the luck of being seen at that day by the right scout.
but I'm trying to understand for people. Let's say that some people are watching. They want to watch us.
Yeah.
And they obviously, let's say, like you said, you've seen a magician. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we've done here a few amazing tricks. Yeah. And basically, let's say that a few kids, they will watch this, and they will say, "Right, I really like what that guy done." Well, you think it's enough for them to say, "Yeah, I really like that," and go into that, or you need to feel it? You need to have a skill to go into this. Is
You've
this
got
like
to want to do it.
selective?
I believe you've got to want to do it. You know, you've got to enjoy what you do.
Because I suppose it's not very easy. Even if you learn these things, it's not very easy to go into a field.
No, you've got to go out there. You've got to graft. You've got to go and do some free gigs. You've got to.
But even so, to learn and express, as you said, everyone can learn.
Yeah.
But not everyone is
Everyone can
expressive.
learn, not necessarily all, you know, to learn some of them take a lot of skill, take a lot of time and patience. You know, you can learn a few tricks. You can go to a magic shop, buy some easy tricks and learn them in 5 minutes. Or there's some tricks that take a long time to learn. But to perform them, that's the difference.
Would you say that in this field, you learn all your life, or you already,
Yeah, I'm
at
always
some
learning.
point you say that you already have learned everything?
I'm always learning. Even tricks I do now that I've done for 10 years, how I do them now is probably completely different to how I did them 10 years ago, because I've been in a different situation, something's come up and I've changed it. And it's,
From what you know, even the ones that obviously now are probably having an age and they've done it for so many years,
Yeah.
even they are telling that you have to learn all your life.
yeah, and you've got to stay up to date. So, you know, 20, 30 years ago, magic's completely different. Now you're doing things with people's phones and, you know, there's lots of different stuff. You've got to stay with tech.
Are they scared, for instance, when someone like I gave you my ring,
Yeah, yeah.
are they scared that you're going to lose that thing?
Sometimes you got to be careful, yeah, especially when you use people's rings and stuff.
Or phones, you do, sometimes do they
People
lose
think
their
you can do,
phones
like,
or something?
dodgy stuff with their phones, yeah. They think you can like hack their phone or whatever, but you can't. I don't know, there might be people out there who can. But
I would actually think if I would see one guy obviously coming and obviously taking my ring this way, or maybe sometimes you take their phones for some of the tricks, I suppose, right?
yeah, you do tricks with people's phones and stuff.
And it happens for you to actually make a trick with losing their phone, or with giving them the impression that you lost their phone.
I don't do that one. Some people do that kind of stuff.
So that's some of the things
But
that can be done.
You've got to be very careful when you use people's personal stuff. I've heard some horror stories of people with the rings and all that. losing it or dropping it. And
Oh, really?
Yeah,
So that's something possible.
yeah, I mean, you're holding someone's ring, you can drop it.
So if, for instance, if you drop this, I suppose that nothing happens, you can find it on the floor.
Yeah.
But what if you drop something that obviously is like maybe, I don't know, diamond or something that glass or something that you can break?
Gotta be careful. You gotta be careful what
So you know the stories. To some people happen to have this.
I've heard some horror stories, yeah, and there's been some stuff. If you look online where dangerous tricks have gone wrong, you got to be. I've got my own. A lot of magicians got their own opinions with dangerous tricks and stuff. I don't think you should ever put an audience member in danger, but there are some people that have used audience members and the trick has gone wrong.
And these obviously can be.
Yeah.
So these are real.
Hand and stuff.
Whenever you see something like this is actually real, it's not directed in.
Well,
in
there's
advance.
tricks to it. There's ways of knowing potentially where the danger is, but things go wrong. I've done it myself. I stabbed my hand once by mistake practicing.
Really?
Fortunately, I didn't do too bad. I was practicing the trick and I had like a polystyrene cup, so that took most of the impact.
So you reckon then some magician, this is how they choose their field in the magic?
Some
Obviously,
people like the dangerous stuff, yeah.
So some people are like, are they more commercial, the dangerous one? What do you think, or not? The reason being why they choosing it?
No, it's
Do you
just
think that they can sell more if
danger. Yeah, danger gets people invested in the trick. And there's some ones out there have gone terribly wrong before. You can see it on TV.
Oh my God, I can't believe it. You know, when you see a thing like this, I can't believe that obviously you can actually see someone stabbing the hand in, you know, when
Tricks
you have the...
are designed to be safe, but, you know, if there is some kind of danger involved, there's still a danger. And when I did that I refused to do any
So
danger.
that's when you actually choose, you know, I'm doing this side of the magic and not
And that was
one.
me. That was my own schoolboy. I knew which cup it was under. That was my own schoolboy error. I went to go for a dramatic finish, and because I was so thinking about it's under that cup, I thought I'll pretend I'll go to that cup, and at the last second I'll swap and go to the other cup. But because I was so thinking that cup, I did it the reverse. So I put my hand over the empty cup and then swapped to the spike one.
There's one thing that I want to tell you. I don't know if you know, obviously, because I had my personal opinion. I want to ask you this because obviously it doesn't happen to be all with the Romanian people, but most of the Romanian people, they know a trick, an old trick I would call. You probably had the chance to see that maybe in a different way, exposed in a different way. If you go to central London, sometimes you see people that play that cup thing, yeah? Which in the end, it could be do you think it's a skill more than a magic thing, or?
Don't ever play that. Don't ever play
I know, we all know, all the Romanian knows that,
Yeah.
that is not, obviously, but the thing is,
It's a skill.
at some point you still think that even if it's not magic, that guy needs to have very special skills
that's
to hide
skill.
that.
It's skill.
So it's skill is not
Yeah.
magic.
But please don't ever play that.
Don't ever play that. Yeah, it's good you said that. Oh, I'm telling you, these are already stories in Romania, and they all know about this thing. It's nothing new to them, you know, because this is from probably 10 years ago or something like this, you know. 20 years ago, we knew that this game. Gary, I'm telling you, we're getting ready for the final one,
Yep.
yeah? And the final one, you told us, and obviously I can't expect it, but honestly, you want to say something about the final one? You said this is your main one that you use to the... Or is,
It's not mine. It's one of my main ones I use.
so it's not the one that you use everywhere as a final one?
No, I have kind of sort of 3 or 4 final ones. And like I said, if I'm doing a table here and there's a table next to it and they're watching me, then I'll do a different finale.
So you
to that
change a
table.
different finale for that tape. All right. Let's watch it, guys.
Yep.
I've
Right.
got a burning question.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you believe in paranormal stuff, in ghosts, demons, or have you ever experienced something like that?
I think I do, yeah. I do believe in paranormal.
So is this... Yeah, because if you think this is... As I said, we all think that some of the things might be real or not real. So many of the things, at least in the Romanian tradition, are compared with black magic and paranormal. So anyone that you see, illusionist, for instance, in Romania, from my personal opinion, but I'm not sure that all the Romanian magicians will agree with me, yeah? Because there are some magicians in Romania as well. But we all I think the people my age, they tend to think that obviously it's either black magic, or if it's not black magic, it's somewhere in the paranormal, or maybe.
Yeah, I think
So I think that's why you asked, because you think that. Or ghosts, yeah.
I think I'm on the fence. I do believe in a bit of paranormal. I think there's a lot of stuff that can't be explained, but I also think the human brain is very powerful, and it can make you see things that you don't believe.
This is a very valid point, guys. If
When
you
I was
think-
younger, there was a place near where I lived, I think it was called Copt Hall. It was supposed to be one of the most haunted places in Essex. We used to go out there at midnight and try and ghost hunt. And I remember seeing things, but it was probably never there. It was probably our brains. When you're nervous and stuff, you see things that...
Yeah, I
aren't
would
there.
say, yeah, I agree. Some of that is connected to your brain being in that situation.
But then there's some things that are just unexplainable.
Yeah, it's actually a good question. In a way, if we think obviously the old one, I probably think that many people they leave interpretation to many people. But in my personal opinion, the new one, like the ones you've done today,
Yeah.
that's why they are modern, from my opinion, because you can compare them to the old tricks, which they give you place for interpretation. It's clear now. It's clear. It's much clearer. I think the magic nowadays is much clearer than the magic before.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Well, it's more explained these days.
It's more explained. You can see that, like you showed me these tricks, and I've seen it in front of me. It's not. I don't have to use my imagination thinking that something paranormal happened. I know it's your skill. I know it was something that you learned. If it would be something like, I don't know, making this cup of flying like this, I would think, yeah, it's probably something paranormal here. What force could this guy have to move this glass? Like, at some point there was some people moving, but that's a different story. It's not connected to the magic.
Yeah, I mean, there's a guy, James Randi, I think it is, who is still to this day, he's got a thing out there. I think it's £1 million for any person who can prove this stuff under scientific conditions, and no one's ever won it.
So it's
There's
like
an offer out there. If you can prove that you can move things and telekinesis and all that under scientific conditions, I think it's £1 million reward, and no one's ever won it.
no one in that. So that means that it is not explained, that thing,
Well,
in a way. So it's still.
well, most of the time, probably, yeah.
Guys, I'm telling you, this is all right. Gary, I'm really keen to see the finale one.
Right.
All right, let's see what you got for us,
I
guys.
need to
get ready,
stand up a
please.
bit for this one, I think.
All right. Ready?
You ready?
All right.
Cool, okay. Right, I'm going to try and stamp the cards. They are genuinely different as well, yeah?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, what can we do? So do me a favor, instead of just touch the back of a card.
This one.
That one, you sure?
Yeah.
Okay. Doesn't matter if I see this. We've got the 8 of diamonds, okay? Just take that.
Yeah.
Could you sign your name, draw, picture, anything you want, make this really unique?
Should I show you that? Or
Yeah, I
not?
can see it, it's fine. I know how the trick works.
Yeah. Right.
Okay, I want you to be happy there's only one of these cards,
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah.
Are you convinced there's only one of those?
It's only one.
Perfect. Okay.
No other card like this. Yeah.
Yeah, let's grab that. Okay, so you've got your card, the 8 of diamonds.
Yeah.
Place that in the deck. We'll come back to that one in a second. I actually need a second card. Will someone else take out a card, or?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You can do it. Yeah.
Take one out. And sign your name on there as well, or draw a picture. Don't show me this one, actually. Keep this one to yourself.
Should I put it on the back or the
No, the face of
Face.
the cards, yeah. Cool.
Okay.
Okay. Just say stop.
Stop.
Place it back. Perfect. And we've got the rest on top. We'll give it a quick shuffle as well. Right, so we've got 2 cards in the deck, yeah?
Yeah.
Right, hopefully when we do this, one card, get this right, should jump to the top. Should be your card. What was your card? You signed it though, right?
Yeah. It's
Sign it, sign it. The 3, yeah?
Oh yeah.
The 3, okay, right. Now look, no shuffling. We'll place that in the deck. Just push it in for me.
Yeah.
Turn over the top card. I'm not going to touch it.
Yeah. No.
It jumps
way.
back up.
Yeah.
We'll slow that down for you. Don't take your eyes on the off the card, okay? Keep the camera on that, see if you can catch this. You can see it's there, yeah?
Yeah.
It's still there. It goes into the deck, into the center. You push it in.
Yeah.
No.
Now, I'm going to try and do that again. I don't know if I'm going to get away with that twice, but we'll try. I don't know if I can fool the camera. Look, goes in the deck. It's going to vanish in the deck, in the center. This time, goes to the pocket. Because if you get to the mouth, I went for the pocket. Did you see?
No.
Pocket, I'll get it out. Oh, hang on. Wrong one. Sorry. Do you know what? Sometimes what happens, the whole deck goes instead of one.
When?
Now, let's put these back here.
Yeah.
Okay, so like I said, I don't know why this happens, but you put it in the deck, wherever you put it. It always seems to jump back to the top. Let's give it one more quick cut. Get it there. The 3 now. Do you remember what your card was?
Yeah, I think it was an 8 of clubs, if I'm not mistaken. I wasn't looking at what the card. I was signing it. Yeah, I signed. I signed. Yeah.
If you give it a little spin, it should turn into.
No, this is Joker.
That should have been yours. It's still kind of cool though, right?
Yeah, it's cool. Yeah.
That should be yours. I don't know what happened there. Hang on, let's have a look. Yeah. The 8, yeah?
Yeah. You were signed anyway.
Oh, there's your 3. We'll go with that.
Yeah.
And if we were meant to raise you,
What's happening?
I don't know.
That's all good.
Circumstances would have been different. We would
Right.
have
Diamond maybe? Because there's no diamond.
Diamond. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's no diamond. So it
There's
must
no
be-
diamond there. No, it must be a diamond. Yeah.
Don't know what happened with that one. Should have been there. I'll tell you what, let's try this one again. I don't know what's happened. And
Alright.
I've got a fresh deck of cards here.
Yeah.
Let me open this up. Brand new deck of cards here, look.
Yeah.
Factory sealed.
Yeah.
Okay. When you get them from the factory, they've got the cellophane on them. Can't even get it off.
No way. I already think what's happening.
We've got the sticker here, sealed with the sticker.
Yeah.
We open it up. When you get them, they come in what's called new deck order. So you get an
Yeah.
advert card. And then they come in new deck order. So you got like the Joker,
Yeah.
spades. If we go through there, you'll see, look. You've got 2 cards. I've got 1 card there, a red card that's facing the other way. Do you want to turn it out? Have a look.
No way. No way. No way. The 8 of club. No way. So there was a new deck of cards, right?
Brand new deck of cards, yeah.
I mean, you could see it.
Guys. So that one, so the one that I signed appeared from the old deck of cards in the new one.
In the new one.
Mine one up against his mouth. How?
And the other deck. Gary, I need to tell you, man, have some applause for this man, please, guys.
yes.
Some applause for this man, guys. This was unbelievable. Unbelievable. Let's sit down there, Gary. It's unbelievable. Go.
That was actually like unbelievable.
Thank you, man.
It was unbelievable. I'm telling you, it's like when we get to keep this one, yeah,
To keep those.
guys. We're gonna keep this one and put this one into
We might.
11 podcast collection, yeah. Put them there, both of them there.
You need to get it signed. Autographed.
Yeah. Can you give us like?
Can you sign it for us? Yeah, sign it for us. We
Probably
have,
not worth much yet, but
guys.
maybe.
I mean, I'm telling you, man. I really think that at some point they will have a value. I really think that.
It's the memory that counts.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Gary.
Gary, I'm telling you, this was something unimaginable. I can't believe I mean, we can't explain this. I'm still shocked with this kind of things. I knew it's gonna be a tough one because I was prepared for that. These guys, I'm telling you, they didn't saw your tricks. But I'm telling you, even if I would see this another 20 times, I will still be the same way, honestly, because that's why I believe you now when you say that the kids are harder to believe, because even if I'm an adult, I was actually fooled very easy
Yeah.
because I was looking in that different direction. I have the feeling that you can do with the adults whatever you want. And with
Yeah,
kids probably they are the ones, what he's doing, right? Let's look at this
Pretty
one more.
much, yeah.
So that's, because actually he was right. And we were all here, all adults, we were all fooled by these things. Because obviously it's skill. I know it's skill. I know it's a lot of training. But I was thinking of even me knowing that something like this will happen, to have more attention on the details, but it happened again.
Yeah.
Gary, I'm telling you, it was a very big pleasure to see you here and obviously see all these things.
Thank you.
I hope that you liked our interaction tonight
it's been great,
with,
man. Really
with the
good.
team. And what would you say about the atmosphere here at 11 Podcasts with us?
It's been great, man. It's been great. Thanks for having me along. Yeah, it's really good.
All right. What if we would do an event with you?
Yep.
Would you come? Yeah.
Of course, yeah.
Would you come to everywhere? So I'm telling you guys, I'm telling you this to all the Romanian people that are listening now. Obviously, this is something that this man can do, and you're not going to believe. I'm telling you, not going to believe. When I saw some of the obviously the performances that he's doing, and I was still surprised tonight. And obviously, I'm sure that we'll be still surprised with the same things. Gary, one last impression for all the people that are listening.
Yep.
What would you say? It's something that kids should do in the future, maybe obviously a message to them as well, to the new one coming into the field. As I said, some of them might be seeing you, and maybe, you don't know, maybe from here they get the motivation of doing it.
Yeah.
And obviously a message about, magic in general. Should they like it as it is? Should they not go into it?
It's a great skill to have. It's a great thing for confidence as well. They're not confident because you've got to go out there, you've got to perform to people. It's a great way to learn that kind of skill. 100%, yeah. Check it out. Look on YouTube. There's loads of videos on there. TikTok. There's loads of
would that
great stuff.
look after them, this kind of field? Would that make them happy financially as well?
Yeah, I mean, it's like any field. If you're a professional, there's loads of different levels. You can get all the way up to the Copperfield, who I believe is like a billionaire now, magician. So
he's dead, isn't it, or he's still alive?
No, he's still alive.
He's still alive.
Yeah, he's got.
I suppose that he's a billionaire now because
I remember seeing that he's like the first billionaire magician.
Really?
Yeah.
So yeah, you're right. He can be going up to the top.
Yeah, if you hit
with
Vegas.
this one. Thank you one more time. I'm going to say some words in Romanian for the people, and anyway for you to. Doamnelor și domnilor, sau dragilor, cum să spunem, asta a fost o ediție specială pentru că noi nu vedem, poate noi oamenii de rând nu vedem asta în fiecare zi. Am dreptate, colegii? Și eu sincer sunt încă șocat cu genul ăsta de tricks care, bineînțeles, ele pot fi explicate într-un fel sau altfel, dar chiar și dacă ai ști lucruri despre ele, tot nu poți să-ți explici în viața reală, mai ales când ți arată, și parcă e diferit când ți le arată în fața așa, nu? Când le vezi în fața ta, față de cum le vezi la televizor. Mulțumim încă o dată Restaurant Eleven pentru posibilitatea de a găzdui asta și, bineînțeles, I'm going to say to you, Gary, thank you very much for coming tonight.
Thanks for having me.
And obviously, we'd like to see you next time. If obviously we want to invite you again, with the new tricks. Whenever you're going to bring the new tricks, I suppose 100%. That you're going to have new tricks in time, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm always updating.
You're updating and changing or maybe updating
I get a lot
to
of
the new
regular
ones.
gigs and stuff where I see the same people, so you got to keep it.
At some point, you have to be like any other field. Thanks a lot, mate, and obviously, and we'll see you next time. Mulțumim că vizionați video ăsta, sperăm să vă placă și să ne vedem cu bine data viitoare. O seară bună tuturor și eu am rămas șocat, zic doar o seară bună tuturor. Gary, vă mulțumim că ați fost alături de noi și la această ediție. Dacă v-a plăcut și vreți să ne susțineți în continuare, un like, share, follow și subscribe ne ajută foarte mult. Ne vedem data viitoare la 11 Podcast, locul unde poveștile devin spectacol.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the 11 Podcast with your host, DJ Raul.